And hi, welcome to the Vac Tube. Welcome to Tube Talk. Today I have Stone Cold Loki with me, and we're just going to talk about some Star Wars stuff and basic just shoot the breeze, see what's going on in the world. And welcome, sir.
Oh, thank you, sir. It is great to be here. How are you doing, man?
Dude, I am Peachy King. I am on top of the world. I'm doing something that I love doing, and it's fun. I'm enjoying the hell out of it.
I'm digging that Boba Fett poster behind you. That's really cool. I love it.
Oh, yeah. I looked the wrong way. I hate this mirrored image. Yeah, my son actually got me that for Christmas. It was a whole roll of them. Just artwork just like that. That's the Hunter. And let me see if I can raise my camera up. Over here, we have the father.
Nice.
And then I got, two or three more of them still in the package.
You've got the Revenge of the Jedi poster, too. Not the Return of the Jedi, but Revenge of the Jedi. Yes.
That's wood.
Nice.
Yeah. It's, this is stuff I've just collected over the years. God almighty. Like right here. You remember this game?
Dragon's Lair. Yes.
Absolutely. I love that game. Bought that about 25 years ago.
Heck yeah. Yeah, I've got that on GOG, the collectors with Space Ace, Dragon's Lair, and Dragon's Lair 2. Yeah.
Oh, dude. I remember Space Ace. God, I love that game.
If you go to GOG.com, GOG.com, they've got the whole triple pack. I think it's like $10. No, Dragon's Lair, Dragon's Lair 2, and Space Ace.
Okay, I'm going there now. Oh, let's see. Nice. Okay, I'll keep that page open. I'll come back over here.
They've got a lot of really good old Star Wars games too. X-Wing Alliance, all that stuff.
Where is mine? Oh, daggum it. I have got two old ones right here. I don't know if you can. They're kind of dirty because they've been in storage.
Dark Forces, yes. Dark Forces 2, Jedi Knight.
Yep. And I've got X-Wing versus TIE Fighter. All those old ones, I just can't play them. What's up, Jedi Bill? Star Wars guys, what's going on, man?
How's it going, Jedi Bill?
Thank y'all for being here. As y'all can tell, I'm new at this. I'm still nervous. So
hey, we've all been there. We have all been there. Ask Coach about their first live stream. Ask Coach next time you get a chance. Ask Coach because it was I am Coach and this is Nick and you are Echo Base Network. I gotta give him hell about that all the time. I love him. I love both those guys.
I felt like that on my first one. I was just like, hi, I am Daryl the Derelict, and welcome to the live stream. And I almost started talking like Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
You know, I may not be a smart man, but I know what Star Wars is.
We got 15 Jennies now. He tasted like cigarettes.
I almost spit my water out. That would have sucked because my mixing board's right here next to me. So I was going to ask you, did you hear about the Pedro Pascal, Ewan McGregor interview on Variety where the actors interview each other?
No, I had not heard about that. What's that about?
It's really good. And let me bring it up. Okay. Hang on. I know I canceled sharing screen, you dumb.
Good to see you, Eddie.
There we go. Let's move that over. That. Okay, now there we go. It's about midway through. They're just talking. They start talking about Star Wars, and then Pedro starts talking with Ewan about his movie Train Spotting, and they go on about that for a long time. But it is so cool. I think it's about right here.
No,
can you hear that?
Nope, no audio.
Oh,
you got to reshare. If you reshare, there's a little share audio button. So if you take the share off, turn the and then share again. And there's a little button on the left-hand side, lower left-hand side that says share audio.
Gotcha. Cool.
There you go.
Thank you.
No problem.
Okay. Don't show this tip again. I've got it. Okay.
Let me tell you what's going on.
Seriously? I'm not playing your audio. We can sit here and skip through the commercial.
No, I know better than anyone.
Say it.
For years, I've had to not tell people about the Star Wars. It's so secretive.
So they are, we're going to be doing a season 3.
That's
right there. Confirmed season 3. And everybody's been like, oh, season 3 this, season 3 that. It's going to be Book of Boba Fett and all that other stuff. But he confirms it right there. But I want to say they were just geeking out over Star Wars, and that was just so cool to see.
There is a lot going on.
False alarm. Ahsoka Tano.
That's so badass.
Bo-Katan sent me.
Yes.
Third season. Have you shot a third season, or are you doing it now?
Oh,
we haven't shot a third season. So confidentially.
Are you like?
No, maybe I shouldn't.
Oh no, maybe.
Maybe you shouldn't. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like confidentially. It's like, okay, you haven't shot the third season, but I know why, because Obi-Wan Kenobi is using their set, because they were talking about that as well. I should have done more research for this.
By the time Star Wars came out, it was we were absorbing a lot of
here it is.
Cinema, of love of Star Wars.
What was your relationship with Star Wars before?
Well, I was born in 1975, and my parents immigrated to the U.S. from Chile when I was a baby, and so we were, by the time Star Wars came out, it was we were absorbing a lot of cinema. My father, who's a doctor but loves going to the movies, he would be taking us all the time. I don't know, kind of like dominated my childhood experience. It's the Star Wars and the Indiana Jones and E.T.
Yeah.
All the Spielberg, George Lucas stuff. When I met with them and stepped into like a writer's room that was wall to wall story illustrations of the first season, it was really surreal to see such sort of like familiar imagery kind of realize that they're sort of like pulled right out of your imagination. It's kind of the thing that they're doing, is that they sort of know the impact that it had on all of us, and they're finding a way to, or new ways to kind of really speak to that and visually, create the things that we sort of see when we close our eyes and think about it.
And one thing I want to get to before the ad pops up, there's one spot in here where Ewan McGregor kind of, not really leaks, but he says a couple of things, one about his show, and it threw me for a loop. And he also kind of takes a really serious jab at the sequel trilogy without actually saying anything. It is so subtle and so brilliant. I loved it, and I'm just trying to find that part.
Just kind of
eye contact.
Who cares? We don't care about your ads, and you will not get audio broadcast. Blah blah. Hey, Robert Pearson, welcome.
Shutdown. 10, 9, 8,
Rob.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Facial scan complete.
I wonder how that's going to come back and bite him in the ass in season 3.
Yep.
It's a galaxy far, far away. It's a universe of possibility, really.
I think this is it.
They've got the original movies, the sort of linear nature of those, but also I just love that they and you took it into this different direction, slightly different tone, but in the same world. You know,
It's like all the old and all the new. Yeah.
some old friends and some new friends, and of course, how did you keep the Baby Yodas? It's not called Baby Yoda, Grogu. How did you keep it? How was that kept secret?
Very good.
Thank you. How was it kept secret? Because that didn't get released.
That's the first secret that it may literally be the very first secret that I've ever kept.
Yeah. That was a big one.
Don't share anything personal with me. No, you can always trust me. But I guess there's so much seriousness around leaked information, and I find it all just a bit too much, and so I tell my family everything, and I didn't with Grogu. I didn't even know what his name was going to be until the second season, but I could just tell, that it was going to have such an impact. And I think that sincerely, the idea that it could work as well as they hoped it would, and that I imagined it could when I saw the image of this thing and started reading the scripts and everything, I think I didn't want that to I didn't want to compromise that in any way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was easy to not talk about it because it was like,
I find an interview.
I want this to work.
To save it. I find in interviews how devious people are about trying to drag things out of you.
It's incredible.
Unbelievable. Like
I just don't remember exactly where it was.
Suddenly find yourself going down an alley. You're like, oh, wait a minute. Was he Grogu on set? Was it a puppet? Was it like a?
Yeah, there's this incredible puppet with fuzzy hair on the ears, and with it moves remotely.
Yeah,
there are these incredible puppets, and one can be done remotely that is like more conducive to wider shots, and then there's
this article or this video is like over half an hour, so I'll leave a link for it in the chat.
And it's
I don't want to watch the whole thing.
Eyebrows, it's like muscular.
I'm just trying to find out where Ewan says that one part. And it's
these
just
guys
killing
are so
me.
talented, and that they get it to. They get the puppet to sort of act with you. In the scene.
Yeah.
I remember doing this one moment, and they didn't keep it, but the puppet was warming itself near the fire, or curious about some kind of fire, coming out of a jet, and I said, "Don't get too close." And then and Dave, whoever's doing the remote, literally had the puppet like look at me and back off, and be like, "Oh, okay," and it's like kind of unbelievable. He's a really good scene partner.
That was one of the most coolest parts I've ever seen in Star Wars. Aside from Luke coming back.
Yeah.
That was even more or equal to Luke and Darth Vader at the end of Return of the Jedi.
It's time to go.
God almighty. What's with the commercials? You're not getting audio, dude.
Oh, and hell, Echo Base.
Yeah. What's up, guys?
I was lucky to do my scenes with Yoda.
Oh, Fat Steven, what's up, dude?
With the puppet.
Matt
with the Yoda
Rissman,
puppet.
welcome.
And
it
was
funny.
extraordinary because I acted with him. Like you say, you were acting with Yoda. I couldn't believe I was acting with Yoda. And then at the end of because there's so many people operating him, and the stage is lifted up, I guess, so they're underneath the floor. We were like literally walking next to each other, and I don't know, he's like alive. And then every time George called cut, he would die, Yoda, because everyone just stops operating him. So he would go, and it was sort of disturbing every time that the end of the scene would come along. And then they replaced him with for our second film and our third film with the digital version of him. And I never felt like it was it's not as endearing, it's not nearly as, and also we know Yoda as a puppet, you know, we know him from the original 3 movies as a puppet. So when it was suddenly computer generated, it didn't feel like Yoda to me anymore, you know?
Yeah, I can agree.
It was interesting that they went back to using an actual puppet with your series because they
it's interesting and there's something that's so kind of like the way that it worked on so many levels in the way that we had to end the second season with this, you know, this sort of tearful goodbye, and to not have had the puppet for that, and also the knowledge of its reception by the, you know, from the world and how everyone felt about, you know, this its creation, its relationship to the history of Star Wars, and whatever it does, like provoke in everybody. It was one of the more strange kind of acting experiences that I've ever had. In a way, if that makes any sense.
It does totally make sense. I don't think I'd be giving away a secret. Maybe I did 2. I've done.
Be careful.
Right here. This is it.
Well, it's all right. There's no secret to when this series is being set, but I had to walk past 2 stormtroopers. I realized.
Yeah. Yeah, that gets me pumped, man. That gets me so pumped. He's going by stormtroopers, so he's involved in sneaking around the Empire.
Pedro almost said the fans, and he caught himself, and he had to stop. Did you notice that? Because fans are a bad word now. Fans are no word in Hollywood. So you can't say fans, and he had to stop himself and say the world instead of saying the fans.
Yep. That way he doesn't screw up and get canceled or try to get canceled again.
If that's the way he looks, if that's the way they've got Ewan looking for Obi-Wan, that's good. I can see the beard, and if that's the way they've got him looking, he's gonna look perfect.
Absolutely. Just give him a little silver here and there, kind of give him salt and pepper hair. Well, you can see on the sides it's kind of gray.
Yep.
Wow, I didn't even notice that.
I've never acted with a stormtrooper because I did all mine were clones, you know. It was the clone army. Yeah. So I'd never seen a stormtrooper.
So they're just sitting there kind of geeking out over Star Wars. This is so cool.
I turned around and I was like 6 years old again. Like,
doesn't it do something? Isn't it complete
insane? Like I was like feeling like I was 6 again or something because I was so close to one. I got a fright, you know, so crazy. And then I had to ask someone, were there stormtroopers in my films? Because I don't think I've seen a stormtrooper for real before. And they were like, no, they weren't stormtroopers. They were clones.
But that's it. And well, I mean, not it, but I'll leave a link for it in the chat if anybody wants to go check it out, because this thing is just so interesting. Granted, they talk a lot about Ewan McGregor's movie Train Spotting at the beginning and towards the end, but there it is.
When I went and saw Revenge of the Sith, of course I saw it opening night, but we got there a day to make sure that that we were all cool. We got there the day before, and by that night, hours before the movie came out, you're talking 31 screens. The entire parking lot is full of people. Me and my friend Chris are sitting on this concrete block, and we've got a portable DVD player, and we're watching the prequels. We're watching Phantom Menace. We're watching Attack of the Clones before Revenge of the Sith. And we had a group of people sitting Indian style on the ground, on concrete down, sitting there watching the movies with us.
That's so cool.
With stormtroopers and Jedi and Sith walking around the 501st, and this was when I was still in Houston. The 501st Houston Division was there. It's absolutely insane, and you can tell when Ewan's talking about it. I walked by 2 stormtroopers. That's how we feel.
Yeah,
that's how we feel. when we see that.
And that's what I love about that video, is because it showed them actually being fans. And that just, I can't even express in words how that makes me feel.
Yeah.
Just to see two people playing two iconic characters in the Star Wars universe geeking out over Star Wars. That is just so cool.
That's what you want.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It makes me so happy. Oh, no. Oh. Hail, Broomcock.
Broomcock.
What is up? The future cleaner of Earth.
He'll sweep away the competition.
Oh. Uh-oh. Him and Echo Baser there might be a throwdown in chat. Oh, man. So, yeah, it's like, when he said that about walking by the storm or sneaking by the stormtroopers, I was like, oh, man, that just makes me so excited for the Kenobi series.
Yeah.
Because it's not just going to be him on Tatooine dealing with sand people and merchants and Mos Eisley and Anchorhead and all that stuff. And dealing with Owen.
Yeah. Uncle Owen.
Oh, hey, Dave Bob, I didn't see you in here, man. Welcome. Yeah, I just saw that at Echo Base. No, chat, quit jumping. Where'd it go? There it is. The original one with 3 guys attacking Luke in the cantina. Oh, that would have been sick to see.
Neck to nuts. Yeah.
Slicing on up the happy trail. Yeah.
Well, there was things they couldn't do then. There were things they could not do. I'm surprised they got away with cutting that guy's arm off.
Yeah. I think that and what was it? Obi-Wan dying.
Yeah.
I think other than that, it may have gotten a G rating back then. Because back then, G movies could get away with a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And shoot, there was actually, I can't remember what movie it was back then, but back in the late 70s, there was this one movie, it was PG, and it showed nudity.
Oh, wow.
I was like, what? Oh, I think it was Staying Alive.
Yes.
The old disco movie. I think it was that one because it showed a couple of butts or something like that. It's a PG movie. I'm like, holy crap. Granted, I only watched it that once, but it scarred me enough to remember 40 years later. But yeah, that would have been sick to see. That'd be cool to see in fan art. Obi-Wan slicing that dude in half.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been sick. Hey, Bone, welcome.
There's a lot that Lucas couldn't do. There was supposed to be a race, and this is why he did the pod race in Phantom Menace, because he could not they didn't have the technology to do this in the original movie. There was going to be a race where Luke was in a T-62 or T something trainer, and he was going to thread the needle in this canyon. He was going to do this 180-degree drop from top to bottom through that they called threading the needle. But
the Beggar's Canyon race.
Yes. Beggar's Canyon run, just like Beggar's Canyon run back home. And that was the whole point of him saying that, was they were supposed to have that race with him doing that. And he fails. He doesn't actually do it. So it was he couldn't do it at the beginning of the movie. And now he destroyed the Death Star when it mattered at the end of the movie because of the Force. And yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, that would have been so sick. I wonder why he didn't put it in the special edition.
I don't think they filmed. They would have had to deep fake Luke. And I don't think they had the technology in the late 90s to do that.
Yeah.
Or do it well anyway.
Yeah. Welcome, Don. Well, I mean, hell, now the people on YouTube are doing better deep fakes than Disney is.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's just sad. That's just so sad. It's like, why not hire these guys? Let the fans do all the deep faking for you. And
I really like Tarkin. I know that's not a popular thing, but I really like Tarkin in Rogue One. I felt like it was Tarkin. I really
dude, I'm
did.
with you. I am with you. I love Tarkin. The only problem, I didn't have a problem with Tarkin at all. He was done very well. His voice was spot on.
Yes.
And then when it came to Leia at the end, the only thing that was wrong with her was her teeth.
Yeah, the chipmunking. She chipmunked at the end, and you're like, yeah, that's not Carrie Fisher.
Like,
right? No.
Wait, she didn't have dentures.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like. She had dentures in. I was like, if they could go back and fix the teeth, that would have been perfect.
Yeah.
Because they got her look. I mean, that was beautiful. I was like, damn, I fell in love with her all over again. Just like I did when I was 6. It's like, oh, she's so pretty. Oh.
But yeah, Tarkin, I thought they did Tarkin great. Some people talk about the lighting. Oh, they got the lighting on his face wrong in the scene or that. And that's all cherry picking. The actor that did that went back and watched like every movie he made and dedicated himself to being Tarkin. That's dedication.
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to is are they dedicating themselves to making we are going to recreate him and we are going to put him in this movie because he's so instrumental in this movie. And they got a great actor to do it. They dedicated themselves to really bringing him back. And that's what fans want to see.
Yeah.
They want that effort.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Just like that reminds me, did you see the Star Wars Theory interview on Rule of Two with the voice actor of Tarkin from the Clone Wars, or not Clone Wars, from the Bad Batch?
No, I didn't.
That was really interesting because he said, they asked him if he used certain lines from when Peter Cushing did Sherlock Holmes back on the BBC, if he used any lines from that to kind of get into the mode of Tarkin. He's like, no. He's like, I had quotes from the original A New Hope, the original Star Wars, and he said that got me into the cadence. I'm not speaking verbatim. I'm just, but that's pretty much the gist of it. He used lines from A New Hope to get into the mode of Tarkin for the Bad Batch, and hearing him speak as Tarkin it gives me chills.
Yeah.
It was so good the way he did it. And ironically, he does Ben Kenobi for Rebels as well in the Twin Sons episode where he fights Maul.
Yes.
And that he spoke like Obi-Wan Kenobi in that interview, and that I'm a fan. I'm a kid.
No, I'm a
That's
kid
so
again.
Good. That's just so good. He he did really, really great work. And that's just, maybe we should have done this other article first. That way we could have ended on a better note, because this other article is like, it's kind of cringe, but at the same time, it's like, it leads me to a not so popular theory that I had. I know she's not very popular right now, and I agree with that 100%. However, she, where'd my mouse go? There it is. She's back. Kira is back in the comic, The Bounty Hunter Wars, or War of the Bounty Hunters.
Wow. Did you read that article about her new comic book?
Yes.
She stated in that she never felt welcome in a comic book store or at a Comic-Con, but she never went to a Comic-Con until she was in Game of Thrones. So if she never went to a Comic-Con before she was ever in Game of Thrones, how does she know she felt unwelcome at a Comic-Con because she's a woman? I'm going to tell you something about women. They are worshipped at Comic-Cons.
Yeah. I mean, the seas part for women at Comic-Cons. Yes. They're like, oh my God, it's a girl.
Yes.
I mean, even I would do that. I haven't been to a Comic-Con like ever because I can never get tickets and I'm always working, but I always watch the videos and Dave Bob's comment got me. And yeah, I know. But only 1 week out of the month, bud.
I am.
It's like, okay, well, what about the other 3 weeks? What happens then? I guess she's like normal. But yeah, what I think they were trying to do at the end of Solo, the way Disney likes to change things around to the way they want with Star Wars, I think they were grooming Kira to possibly be Darth Talon. Now, no, Darth Talon was a Twi'lek, or Twi'lek, however you want to say it, and badass. But I honestly think they were grooming her to be Talon.
It's possible. Very possible. There was another redhead that was in the Knights of the Old Republic game named Kira, who ended up having Force powers as well.
Yes.
So that would not surprise me.
Yeah, and being she's Darth Maul's apprentice, so to speak, that just makes sense and the time frame fits.
Yep.
Because her and Darth Maul were the original bad guys of George Lucas's sequel trilogy. And God, that would have been so good to see. I would have just, I don't know. You know, after what Disney did with these, I think it just reminds me of like in radio, where you got a really popular DJ who does like morning drive or something like that. He ends up leaving and they just bring in somebody else to fill in the void and hopefully, you know, keep doing, you know, get good ratings like the original guy did. But they tank almost every time. They tank and everybody hates them. And then they bring in somebody else after, and that person does very well. However, had you brought that person in directly after the good one, it wouldn't have done so well. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So George Lucas prequels got really bad reviews from fans, and I'm not one of them. I loved them. I still love them.
Yeah, yeah.
But being that Disney put out their cinematic suppositories, when George Lucas, if he is ever able to make his sequel trilogy, it'll be revered. It won't get the backlash that it would have had he put them out himself back in 2012, 2015 when he was wanting to.
Yeah. Yeah, he said the prequels took up over 10 years of his life. He didn't want to do that again. He's not coming back. You see a lot of rumors and a lot of innuendo and a lot of Lucas returns to Lucasfilm and is going to take over. It's not going to happen. There's a reason why he sold it. And the reason why he sold it is because he wanted to spend time with family. He wanted to dedicate his life, the rest of his life, to his family. Right. He's not coming back and he's not going to make another trilogy. It's just not going to happen.
No, I don't see it happening at all as much as, it's like, oh, he's coming back. He's going to bankroll his own thing. He might be able to bankroll his own movies, but he would have to pay Disney an ass ton of cash to be able to make his own movies about his own IP.
And they're not going to let him.
No, absolutely not. They do not want that. He's a threat, and they do not want him touching it at all.
No.
And I'm sure he's under possibly a non-disclosure agreement to even talk about Star Wars as much anymore.
Yeah.
I know he did in that one interview with that middle school class, but he touched on it so briefly and he was uncomfortable at the time. You could tell because he was sitting there fidgeting his hands, and I think it angered him to talk about Star Wars in such a way because of what Disney did to it.
I can't remember whether it was Filoni or Favreau that confirmed that the set picture you see, where he is with Filoni and Favreau on the set of The Mandalorian, and you got KK right behind him, that was a favor for Filoni. Filoni was like, Favreau would love to meet you and sit down and talk Star Wars right on the set, and that's exactly what that was. He was not coming in to tell them, this is how you need to do this. He was not consulting. He was there to see what they were doing and to be like, wow, you guys really give a shit. I'm liking what I'm seeing. You guys are really the care, the animatronics. You're not going full CG. You're actually using puppets. There was all kinds of things like IG-88. There was all kinds of stuff they did that was real. That was not just computer generated imagery. And he appreciated that. He appreciated seeing that.
Yeah, because that just brings back the entire feeling of Star Wars.
Yeah.
It just totally encapsulates it. And God, first episode of The Mandalorian I saw, I was just sitting there literally on the edge of my seat.
Exactly.
Just like that. I mean, I couldn't move for the entire episode.
And people can say what they want about the CG stuff. If you watch Phantom Menace before they inserted the CGI Yoda, that puppet looked bad. That was not. He didn't look like Yoda. No. I can see why they went the way they did, and it's understandable, especially what you see in Revenge of the Sith, because with him swinging around and at the end of Attack of the Clones, doing all the shit he was doing, you can't get a puppet to do that.
Oh hell no! It just looked like something out of Monty Python, just throwing a dummy off the bridge or something.
Yes.
And that would have been ridiculous and totally destroyed the movies. But two Star Wars nerds, welcome.
And Dave Bob, you're right. He may consult, but that's going to be it.
Yeah, and he would never get credit for consulting either.
No.
Oh, wow. Look, George Lucas is in the chat.
Oh, well, George.
Hello, father of Star Wars. Oh, man. But that's all I had to really talk about as far as, points I wanted to make is those two things. But I just, I just hit a blank spot.
I would have loved to see Amelia as Darth Talon. I think that would have given kick ass. Are they going to do that? Solo was such a failure.
Go ahead.
Them having to go back. See, that worked with Rogue One. There were things that were missing from Rogue One. There is a scene that was cut from Rogue One where you see Vader on the beach and he stops in X-Wing. He literally holds his fist up, closes it, stops the X-Wing in midair and throws his lightsaber and cuts it in half. That is one of the things that was cut from Rogue One that you see when Vader is on the beach in Rogue One. And because they had to go back and recut part of that movie and replace one of the actors, you miss that. There's things you miss. The same thing happened with Solo. They had to recut half of that movie because they got rid of the guys who did the Lego movie. I can't remember their names right now, but the two guys that did a Lego movie and 21 Jump Street movie, they got rid of them. KK fired them, brought in Ron Howard, and they finished that movie. And it's like, guys, sometimes, yes, that works. Like with what happened with Rogue One. What's her name? And the guy weren't supposed to die on the beach. They were going to be in a ship and in an escape pod or something floating in space with the idea that they could have survived. Cass Andar. And you get this idea that they don't really know what they're doing. When you fire a team of directors at the very end of filming and replace them, that is really bad. That is not something you normally see in film. That is not something that normally happens.
Yeah, and it seems to have become common practice here lately.
Yeah.
That's just, it's ridiculous. I mean, Gareth Edwards did great with Rogue One. And then, like you said, in Solo, they had to just almost pretty much redo the whole movie.
Yeah.
And they could have done it so much better, especially had they postponed it.
Yes.
And that's what they should have done. They shouldn't have just cranked it out. We got to get this out. We got to get it out now. No, you already were seeing the backlash of The Last Jedi. Postpone the movie.
One of the
get it done right.
Yeah. One of the things nobody ever talks about is Rise of the Skywalker or Skywalker. My bad. Rise of Palpatine. Yeah, Rise of Palpatine. They were editing that movie as JJ was filming it, and JJ wasn't involved in the editing process. So you've got him filming a movie, and literally they're taking the dailies and editing them. right there on the floor to get it out in time so that movie comes out on time. You want to know why that movie is such a jumbled effing mess? That is why.
Yeah.
That is why that movie is such a jumbled, edited mess of a movie, and why it steps all over itself, and you just don't understand half of it. They're constantly running from place to place, going from and then stupid concepts like light speed jumping and all that. You can't light speed jump into a gravity well.
No.
There's all kinds of things that the fans know that they're going to call you on. And when you don't care about any of that, when you're like, well, we detest the fans, we just don't care what they think. We only care about the reviews we're going to get. And by the way, you're reviewing the movie. We're going to bring you to Lucasfilm Ranch and we're going to give you all this stuff. And we're going to treat you like a king because we want your good review. And if you don't give it to us, you're never going to be invited back again.
Exactly. And I'm a glutton for punishment. I have tried and I have rewatched The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker at least 5 times each.
Oh, my.
To try and find something to like. And I found a couple of, just like 2 out of both movies that I liked. And that was it. Out of almost 5 hours of quote unquote Star Wars material, I found 2 points and very small, brief points that I liked. And that was it. I mean, the lightsaber duels were just like, it's like, there's nothing intense about it. There's nothing to lose. There's nothing to gain by it. It's just like 2 people having a tantrum and just going at each other.
Yeah.
It's like, I see that stuff, I saw that stuff in junior high and elementary all the time. Like, and then they start fighting. It's like, okay, well, what's at stake here? Nothing.
No, when your kids can put up a more believable lightsaber duel than what's going on screen, there's a problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where was all this kick-ass choreography? We all saw Daisy Ridley training before that movie came out. You saw promo videos of her training and doing all kinds of kick-ass stuff with the lightsaber. You don't really see any of that.
Nope.
So
none at all. It's like, I'm with you on that. It's like, okay, wait, I saw this behind the scenes stuff where she's training, doing all this really cool stuff with a lightsaber, and comes up here and it's just like cardboard.
Yeah.
It's like, we're fighting with cardboard swords, so we can't hit them too hard because we'll break them.
And that hiss when she's the dark version of herself, that hiss. Oh my, that is the cringiest shit I think I've ever seen. Oh, what are you, a cat?
Yeah. Like, wait, what? What did I just see? And I had to watch that, like, when I watched the entire movie, I had to stop that and rewind that and watch it a couple of times just to make sure I saw what I saw.
Yeah.
I was like, really? And that was it? Just, I do that to my cat all the time. And when he's being a jerk.
2 Star Wars nerds, I agree. I watched TFA multiple times, Force Awakens multiple times. I saw The Last Jedi twice, but I saw what's his name's re-edited version of it. I can't remember his name right now. I watched it once in theaters, then I watched the fan edit. Fan edit was better, but it's still trash. And then I saw Rise of Soy Walker on opening night, and I hated it, so I never watched it again.
Yeah.
But at least we gave it a shot. I don't know how you do it about 5 times. I just, no.
Like I said, I'm a glutton for punishment, but I just wanted to make sure.
Ivan Ortega. Thank you. Yeah, 2 Star Wars nerds. Ivan Ortega. It was Ivan Ortega's fan edit.
I haven't seen that. I'll have to.
I think I still have the link.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I agree. The Force Awakens, I call it the Forced Awakens because almost everything in that movie felt forced.
Yeah.
It's like, we got to get it done. And it's like the dialogue was just like cringe most of the time. And it's like, okay, why are we rushing? Why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? And it's like, okay, Han Solo's a blithering idiot. Him and Leia are both bad parents because they lost their kid. Luke is he's a deadbeat Jedi Master.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, this girl who's nobody can pilot the Falcon.
Knows the Falcon better than Han Solo.
Yes. I passed the compressor. Well, what did he do? You know? Yay for you. It's like, yeah, right in the middle of hyperspace, you're going to start doing work on the Falcon. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
God dang it, I lost my train of thought. My train derailed. But no, yeah, Han's an idiot. Luke's a deadbeat. Leia's a bad mother. And Kylo Ren's just a spoiled brat.
Yep.
Who didn't get his way, so he went off with the old cringy man from Family Guy who gave him his way.
Yes.
That's who Snoke reminded me of. It's just like the cringy neighbor.
Get your fat ass back here. Yeah.
I like what I see.
It's
just like, yeah. And, and then everybody was like, oh, Snoke's Darth Plagueis and stuff like that. And I thought, well, okay, that would be cool. If he's Darth Plagueis, let's see it. And the most disappointing thing out of The Force Awakens was Finn.
Yep.
He was set up to be the Jedi. In all the promos and all the trailers, he was set up to be the Jedi. And then they make her the Jedi.
Yep.
And him just there.
The janitor.
Yeah.
And he was a janitor. Yeah. Okay. Turn him into like Imperial Special Ops. Turn him in First Order Special Ops, Sniper, something badass where he is a warrior. Instead of walking through the ship with water squirting out of the bag that's around him and just an effing joke. That's all he is a joke.
Yeah. And I was just so excited to see his arc continue. A defective stormtrooper that has force powers that ran away from the First Order and is going to try and find Skywalker and be a Jedi. That would have been epic.
Yeah, and if he'd have been a Jedi, that is what the Force is what overrode whatever permanent training was in his mind. Whatever they put them through, it was the Force that released him from that and let him experience things as a emotional human being instead of a mindless stormtrooper that follows all its orders. He's different. Exactly.
And that's who I thought it was about, because it says, there's been an awakening. Have you felt it? And while they were there at that town killing everybody, he just stops. And it's like, okay, that's who awoke.
Yeah.
And then it's just like the other two movies just, Ray! Okay. What happened to him?
Well, they even admit what's his name? He's the guy who played Ming the Merciless, or Ming in Flash Gordon. His character in
Max von Sydow.
Max von Sydow, thank you. The great late Max von Sydow was connected. His character was connected to the Duchess of Mandalore. And Rey was supposed to be Obi-Wan's daughter. That's who she was supposed to be. She was supposed to be the daughter of Obi-Wan. Now, if Luke originally was like, no, I'm not going to train you. I don't do that anymore. I don't train anyone. And then finds out that is Obi-Wan's daughter, he now has a real obligation to pass on. Well, okay, Obi-Wan took me and trained me and started me down the path of Jedi. I have to follow that example and do this with her. Instead of refusing to train someone, that gives him a reason, and that gives him the opportunity to say, no, I'm going to do this. And we're going to change things. Absolutely. Because you're the granddaughter of the man who trained me. I have an obligation to train you because he changed me.
Yeah.
And makes shitload of more sense than, you're just a failed clone of Palpatine.
Yeah. Everybody would have accepted it had it gone that way. It's been like, okay, I can see that, because Obi-Wan had the love interest. And, it's like, okay, we could see it.
Yeah.
Because there was pretty much documentation to back it up.
Yep.
And it would have been believable and accepted by most of the fans.
Yeah.
I say most of the fans because you can't please them all, because most of them are just whiny bitches. And I admit I've been one before. I'm a man. I can admit I've been a whiny bitch before. But But yeah, I mean, that would have been way more believable and way more accepted, and the movies would have been way, way better.
Yeah.
And nobody would have a lot to complain about. We would just be relishing in the fact that, you know, we got to see her arc, and it's like, okay, she's keeping the Kenobi line going. The Skywalkers, you know, they may have killed them off anyway. The Skywalkers are gone. Now we're going to continue with Kenobis.
Yeah.
And that would have just left the door open for the sequel of the sequel trilogy.
Instead,
Instead, we got a dumpster fire 3 times. Each dumpster fire worse than the last. Because the only thing I found out of the Rise of Palpatine that I liked was the flashback of Luke training Leia. That's it.
Yeah.
That one scene, that's it. And then the one out of The Last Jedi was Luke kissing Leia on the forehead and saying he was sorry.
Yeah.
That. And giving her the sabacc dice.
Never seen the biggest unforgivable sin for all the fans will always be never seen Luke, Leia, and Han on screen at the same time.
Absolutely. And now the only way we can do it is in fan art or deepfake.
Yep.
And fans won't accept deepfake. Not at this point.
No.
I know I won't. Oh. See. Oh, man. Man, God, it's already been 50 minutes.
It's already been 50 minutes.
Wow.
Time flies when you're having a good conversation.
But I'll tell you what, man, it's been great. It has been absolutely great. Oh, okay, that's that link. I just saw it.
That's the link for the re-edit, the Ivan Ortega fan edit.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
No
I
problem.
will check that out as soon as we're done here. Well, you got anything coming up?
I've got I'm going to be on Merry Mayhem tonight. So I'll be on Merry Mayhem Shenanigans tonight at 8 p.m., I believe.
Cool.
And that's it for the weekend. And we'll start over Monday.
Sweet. And I know Echo Base has the interview with Alan Dean Foster tonight.
Yes.
And that starts at 7. That's going to be sick. So I'm going to have to be bouncing between you guys and Echo Base. That's all right. I got 2 monitors. I'm good.
That's the way you do it, man. I don't know what I do about 2 monitors.
Oh, dude. Yeah. I got to close that article. Having Amelia Clarkson there staring at me for the past 20 minutes has just been, I feel like I'm about to start a period. But anyway, Loki, I appreciate your time today. Thank you very much. And thank you, everybody, for being here. I really appreciate it. Y'all have helped the channel grow and keep growing. And I'm hoping we can keep it rocking.
If you aren't subscribed to this guy, everybody who's still watching, if you aren't subscribed to this guy, subscribe, ring that bell. He's got good content coming out, good streams. This has been an absolute blast. Thank you for the invite, Daryl.
You bet. And thank you, Loki. And I guess we will see you tomorrow or tonight.
See you later, everybody.
Y'all take care.